Thank you once again. My pleasure to be here.
Always a
Always a
pleasure to
pleasure.
have you here, sir. Also, we have Mr. Chris Otaigbe, who is a journalist. In fact, he's our senior colleague, and he's also a social analyst. Good afternoon, Mr. Otaigbe. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Good afternoon. Thanks for
Good
having me
afternoon.
here.
We're happy to always have you here.
My
And
pleasure.
of course, my able co-host Alero is here as well. Good afternoon, Alero.
Good afternoon, patients. How you doing?
I'm fine. How was the weekend?
Ah, the rain.
You and this weather. Alero is always going on and on about the rain. I mean, you have to find a way to enjoy it because if the rain don't come down, we won't have food though.
No,
You know?
but you know when we're talking about the downpour, I get so worried when it comes to the roads because the roads are pretty in terrible conditions and
I
anytime
get what
it
you mean.
rains,
It becomes more difficult.
yes
you
to
know.
actually go out.
All right. Well, we'll survive. We'll survive on the show. Hot coffee on the table. So no matter the weather, we're good to go. All right. Welcome again, gentlemen. You wanted to say something?
I wanted to say that those of us who are farmers might decide if it doesn't rain, like this year, we thought it was going to start early, eventually didn't, and then
Yeah.
we were getting worried because our crops had to go to the grounds, and then
Definitely.
so whether it rains, I mean, when it doesn't rain like this, I would rather be in traffic for 20 hours
And then there's
than
rain.
not have this rain because it's very important
Cycle.
in
All right,
some
we
other
get
things
you.
we do on the side.
Okay. All right. It's been a quite eventful weekend. Very eventful weekend. You know, so many things happened because of the weekend. We'll bring you a bit of that trended on the show this afternoon. First off, we're starting from Ekiti State. Of course, I'm sure we all heard all the melee, if that's the right word to use, all the brouhaha that's taking place. Shooting at Ekiti Mega Rally. Disaster struck on Friday in Ado Ekiti, the Ekiti state capital, at a mega rally organized by the All Progressives Congress APC to welcome the party's gubernatorial candidate Kayode Fayemi to the July 14th election next year. According to sources, sporadic gunshots aimed at Fayemi were fired in front of the party's secretariat in Ado Ekiti by a policeman who had been arrested when he had a brawl with some party roughnecks. But the bullets hit a former lawmaker, Opeyemi Bamidele, after the former minister had taken a few steps forward before the bullets hit the target. Bamidele and other victims were immediately rushed to the Ekiti State University Teaching Hospital, where doctors said they were responding to treatment. Meanwhile, the Ekiti State chapter of the APC has alleged that the shooting of the former member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Opeyemi Bamidele, and others at the rally on Friday was an alleged plan to assassinate the party's candidate, Dr. Kayode Fayemi. We have a footage coming from that rally. Let's quickly see the footage, then we'll come back to the table. Stay with us.
The protagonist was not part of our setup yesterday. We don't know him until he started his antics. When you see policemen in uniform, you could only identify them with their names and their number. So anybody in uniform you believe is a policeman. And for that act to have happened and exhibited by a police officer, cause for serious investigation. Like we said, it did not happen outside our office, right away inside the place. The man had a mission. We only thank God I was not able to accomplish. Even while we are still doubting, when we are still looking for answers to some of these things, they've rushed to the press to make allegations, to do this and do that. And what happened on the morning of yesterday, if a governor could go to the extent of telling Ikere people, don't come out today.
We don't have hands in violence. And thank God that the police has come out to also clarify that the police officer that was involved in the shooting actually was brought from Lagos, from Mopo 20 in particular, and that they've been trying to hide the identity of the person who brought him, and he was among so many armed policemen that they brought to Ekiti yesterday, courtesy of their people from Lagos.
Table. The number to use this afternoon is 0802-836-8971. That's 0802-836-8971. The number will be on your screen shortly. Okay, Mr. Ikem. Now, Ekiti is becoming quite notorious, you know, when it comes to party politics. We saw what happened at the primaries earlier on in the last month, I think, you know, and all of that. In fact, years down the line, if we trace the history of politics in Ekiti, you know, it's been saddled with one form of violence or the other. Is this the way to go, really, for Ekiti State? Is it becoming something that's come to stay?
Let me not just say Ekiti. What is happening in Ekiti now, what has been happening in Ekiti, has been happening in quite a number of other places across the country. But the kind of bile that Ekiti people bring into their own space is something that ordinarily is something that shouldn't be. Ekiti is almost like a homogeneous set of people. They are all Ekiti. Just like the Jebus, you have Ijebu, Igbo, Ijebu, Yode. Ekiti is one Ekiti. So ordinarily, it should be easy. But without missing words, ever since the incumbent governor touched the politics of that state, things has not steadied. If we start going down memory lane, it will probably take the next 2 editions of this program. But what happened during this campaign, and how the whole thing was blown out of proportion, we eventually understood it was accidental discharge, or maybe it has been explained away as accidental discharge. But for somebody who was not even part of the whole thing, you are not in APC, you are not at the rally, and then you have seized the narrative. Before the APC people could articulate, we have already seen Leo Olayinka in the airwaves talking about that this man, Fayemi, brought policemen in from Abuja to intimidate, and then he was almost got killed, but his own policemen. The next moment, we hear that it was Akeredolu that now brought this policemen from Ondo State.
So
the
many
next moment,
versions.
we hear that the honorable member, the former honorable member that was shot, had been flown abroad for treatment when he was still there in Ekiti State. So it now tells you that where people ordinarily should be looking at the policeman who did the shooting and what happened to APC Larry, you are now forcing people to start thinking of you as a potential culprit. Because we have seen the narrative from the person who was injured and was crying louder than him. Our people say that when the wolf cries at night, he come, I mean, when the wolf cries at night and then you wake up in the morning and the chicken is dead. You draw,
of course,
your relationship that the wolf must have killed the chicken. Why this whole thing? The election, they just came for a mega rally. There was, in quotes, accidental discharge, whether true or not, but the policeman eventually was on illegal duty.
Okay.
I have been expecting Lere to come out and tell us that the policeman was not an illegal teacher, that was hired to come there and kill whatever. But we have not heard from him.
Okay. All right, Mr. Ikem. Now, the latest development is that the politician who actually hired the services of the policeman illegally...
Who was on illegal duty?
Yes, who was actually on illegal duty. Tayo Adebi has actually denied the allegation that it was an assassination attempt on the party's candidate. Do we actually see any relationship between members of that particular party, that's the APC, in peace?
Well, I don't know whether... I don't even want to go and look at that policeman because... I mean, look at the politician.
Because he's
in
been
the first
arrested.
place, he has committed an offense.
Okay.
Even though a policeman should be responsible enough for his actions, but he provided the inducements that made the policeman to be where he should not be at that point in time. So we shouldn't even be listening to him for explanations of what happened and what didn't happen. You move the policeman without the approval of his supervisors, of his division, because he's an illegal on a bank duty somewhere in Lagos here, and then
maybe it was his off day.
He reports.
I'm just thinking
Even
aloud.
if it was his off day.
Maybe it was his off day. So
See,
he's just making
some of
some
these things
aside
don't
money.
even, because ordinarily, if a policeman is on such special off-site duties, before you resume in wherever you are going, you're supposed to report to your division.
Are you even supposed
understand?
to be with your
You
arm?
sign
Are you supposed to be with your gun?
You sign it
You
out
sign it
again,
that-
and
yeah.
then somebody knows that this is where you are.
Exactly.
We didn't hear that he first reported to his division and that the DPO or whoever is the Amora approved that he returns to his bank. So how did he find himself in Ekiti? In other words, when you look at it, you know that there are,
Like
apart
abuse
from
of
that
power.
politician, there are layers of other people who should
Who are
be held
involved,
responsible
yes.
for even what that policeman did on that day.
All right, Mr. Chris.
Yes, I even think that this even opens us to another window of politicians illegally taking these policemen from off their duties to go and do some political wrongs. That this one, it just shows that it's been going on. This one just backfired.
Yes, yes.
And that's one layer. The second layer, another layer that my brother just said, is that first of all, it's just that we are losing sight because of the smoke being thrown up, or the shadow being thrown up, of principles of governance and of government. First of all, Ayo Fayose is the what they call it, chief security
Chief
officer
Security Officer of
that state.
Yeah. True.
And he is not supposed to be uttering those things he's uttering. You understand? I expected him to have, in fact, you know, sometimes somebody did say that the Nigerian situation is no dull moment. Things just keep happening that baffle everybody, defies logic. Because I don't know how to explain this. As you can see, it's a sequel to what we were talking about, was it last month? This is a sequel. APC rally, APC primaries, there was violence, and now just a rally to welcome a serving minister who just retired. There's another violence.
Exactly.
You know, so it's for me, I see this situation as struggling to capture the reality of our time today in Nigeria and straining to define the piece of the collective that is called Nigeria. They are trying to tell us that this is Nigeria anyhow, going forward to 2019. But I tell you that it is not so. Whatever they are planning today is going to really consume them, not the populace.
You know what, Alero did raise a salient point, talking about the party itself, the APC. I mean, I understand internal squabbles in the party because people come with different ideologies, you understand, and different understanding of issues, and then we have to disagree sometimes to agree. But this is beyond just mere disagreement, you know, internally.
This for me is looking like an orchestrated plan.
Do you get, this is beyond that.
But
I don't know.
let's get to have something in mind. Because as the news breaks, you know, news actually unfolds. And now the principal consultant to the Tayo, what's that his name? Adebi, that's the politician, actually hired the policeman. Had come out to say that the policeman actually shot into the air because some other thugs came into the rally ground.
Why are you hiring?
Let me
Okay,
say
Let me
this.
allow Mr. Ikem.
Let me say this. When something backfires,
Yes.
all manner of
Excuses.
explanations,
will come up.
plausible or not plausible,
That's true.
will happen. The policeman, who are you firing at? Why are you firing? Inside your head, at the back of your mind, you should know you are in that place illegally. What did he go there to do? The politician who hired him not because he wanted to provide security around Fayemi.
Yes.
He hired him for personal enhancement.
Yes.
He needed to stand out in that mega rally that, yes, I am a frontline APC member in Ekiti State. And that Fayemi should, whether he likes it or not, notice me and reckon with me. That is the essence of carrying a policeman from another duty post illegally to Ekiti State. He didn't do that because he wanted to provide extra security for Fayemi. There's a commission of state of police in that place. If you say that Fayose had pocketed him, the neighboring Ondo State and Osun State also have policemen that you could move easily.
Yes.
Instead of moving them
That's what
from
I was
Lagos
just
like
going
4,
to
5,
say.
6
Exactly.
hours.
I
in that
mean,
place.
a rally is not an impromptu thing.
No.
It is a planned
plan-
thing.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
the same process that follows if you're having a planned protest follows if you're having a rally.
Exactly.
You know,
So
you would have informed
He
the police
didn't
on ground
take
in
the
your,
policeman
you know,
there
that's what I'm
because
saying.
he wanted to provide security for that rally.
Yeah.
He took the policeman
For himself.
For personal
himself.
reasons.
So that policeman has no reason to fire at anybody who was attempting to do anything.
Which can also give, you know, credence to the fact that it could have been a thought-out plan.
And
Well, I don't want to.
assassination
I don't want to do
Do you-
conspiracy.
no, assassination
theory.
at-
But
I understand,
but let
because
us,
yes.
Let us look at it. Let us look at it from the point of logic. Number one, you are on an illegal duty. First thing, from a human mind, you should keep your head low.
Lie low.
Below the radar.
Now, yes, under the radar. Now you didn't do that. Okay? Now, if you had fired maybe somewhere away from the minister, perhaps the noise and the whole hoopla we are getting now would have been reduced. But you chose the main target, of course.
In a crowd of
in
people.
a crowd of people. And you said you fired up. If you fired up, the bullet
bullet
would
is
not have
coming
gone up
down.
and come and hit somebody in somewhere else. You know, so for me, having gone off that level, let's go to the next level. So why, when you fired, whether you fired up or down, it hit somebody near the main target in a politically combustible atmosphere of that magnitude, and you want to tell me that you don't even need FBI or CIA. I don't know about DSS to tie the knot. The picture is almost there.
And you know, when you
clear.
fire into, whether it's in the air or wherever, like you said,
Yes.
in a crowd of people, you know the stampede that will follow.
Will
Because
follow.
that is like a reflex thing.
Yes.
Once you hear it, everybody starts campering, you know, and all of that. But then second of all, you know, the assassination attempt angle to the story, I could question that personality, because if we follow the trail of the rally, coming all the way from the airport, you know, midtown, before they got to the secretariat, took hours because they were stuck in traffic. He was sitting on the roof of the car. He was an easy target, if you ask me. So, I
That's
am
what I say.
thinking.
No,
I
I can
avoid-
almost explain that too.
I'm thinking.
I like
there
to,
was.
like I said, Nigerian politics. If you go away from all the normal explanations and go into the world of conspiracy theories, you might just not miss it. I can tell you that, oh, he was standing there, you know, full view. If he had been shot, it could easily have been shot there.
Right there.
But
yeah.
perhaps they didn't mean to assassinate him. They meant to embarrass him.
Okay. All right. I get your thinking. Mr. Ikem, what
Like
do you
I
say?
said, I'm trying to avoid conspiracy theories. But for me, if it didn't make sense for somebody on illegal duty, standing out like a sore thumb in that place, and knowing fully well what he stands to lose, to do it in a way where he'll be easily picked out. My thinking is this: when somebody picked him for self-aggrandizement, as it were, you first of all have to arrive Ekiti and go somewhere and paint the town red. if they had done an alcohol level test on that policeman, he would have been drunk.
I agree.
That's one.
Because the man has to make him feel good. To be able to, you know, show people who want to crowd out the man and prevent him from getting close to the focal point of the day, which is fine. If you do any alcohol test, if they had done alcohol test on that man that day, he would have been stone drunk, so drunk he didn't know the rules of weapons management anymore.
Or maybe he was trying to impress.
That's the furthest I can wait.
I don't. If it was a one-shot situation, perhaps the drunken thing would have worked, which means maybe trying to bully people.
Yeah.
His hand
Or
touched the
sporadic
trigger.
shots.
It was sporadic.
It was
No,
sporadic.
It was planned.
I was lucky. Let me say, I was privileged to have served in the military barracks.
Yeah.
And I went like more than 5 times with them to their drills. I mean, going to the trench, to the shooting range.
Yeah.
They taught me how to handle weapons in the barracks.
Yeah.
If you are not alert, you put all those. That thing is a very light weapon. If you put it on rapid, once you pull it like this, the whole 20 bullets in that magazine
Okay,
if it
that
is
makes
go-
sense, yeah.
will go out in less than 2 seconds.
Yes.
Once it's on rapid,
Okay.
bam, you touch it like this, everything goes off.
All right, let's look at a bit of reactions to this. Henry from Trade Fair in Lagos says, when will Nigerian people learn how to play politics? This other one says, hi to you all. Please don't call this number. Just send your SMS, all right? We'll try and read it. All right, Mr. Frank from Kafanchan, I'm going to be reading your message much later. This other one coming in from Francis from Ekiti says, a simple solution is to have more technocrats willing to take part in the race for the gubernatorial position, not career politicians. All right, we hear you. DJ Zaki, the policeman is not wrong because he is not there on his own. So he's not there on his own. So blame the inviter. Okay.
We should leave the invitee.
Carry the invitee. All right. What do you guys think about the indoor meeting held by the APC immediately after the incident in line without caring about the lives of the other 5 people who were injured? All right, we get you. I don't know, this continuous issues with APC, you know, is making me feel a bit jittery. This is still an unraveling story that people might not have heard about. Even there was an issue with the APC women leader. We don't know that. Connecting the Kogi state governor, connecting the first lady as well. You know, that story is still, you know,
it's still in the making.
So many things coming out from the APC. We need to get our acts right. Let's move the country forward, and please let's stop killing people. That is, you know, my own concern.
Because now the main thing right now is a lot of people will be pretty scared to come out to when they are having rallies. Election is around the corner. Anything can as well just get to happen.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, the policeman has been apprehended. Yes, and investigations are ongoing. So we hope
But will
that
he be prosecuted?
well,
properly
we'll
speaking?
hope we'll see. We'll see
They
how.
will use him as an example. They will dismiss
Then what
him.
about the politician too? They invited, he invited.
Yeah, well,
that's
well.
my pain. That's my anger. This policeman,
Okay.
you will see, he will be punished. There will be an on the room trial.
He's the scapegoat.
First,
He's
he's
carrying the
on
whole-
illegal duty. He abandoned his duty post. He traveled away from Lagos with
yes.
his weapon, and they will remember that he didn't sign it duly to travel away from
Exactly. He's
Lagos.
going to carry the whole
His
thing.
offense will be like 5. They will dismiss
bad.
him.
Too
and
bad.
send him
All
away,
right,
but the
our time is
politician
fast
will
running,
negotiate his
Mr.
way out, I
Ikem.
can
Let's
tell
move
you.
on to our next topic, and this one is PMB signs not too young to run bill. President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the not too young to run bill on Thursday inside the council chamber of State House Presidential Villa in the presence of selected invited youths from the 36 states and also the Federal Capital Territory. However, in a brief remark after the president signed the bill, he told the audience, and I quote, "You can aspire for president, but please postpone your campaign till after 2019 election." End of quote. Now, the new law is aimed at relaxing some of the stringent and discriminatory provisions of the Constitution. And of course, some age qualification for president has been altered from 40 to 30, governor from 35 to 30, senator from 35 to 30, House of Reps 30 to 25, and State House of Assembly membership from 30 to 25. And blah, 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 blah. Okay, so this agitation for, young leaders in Nigeria, Mr. Chris, how do you react to it, really?
I think it's a good development. It's a great development. But the question is, our political problem, is it an age issue? Is it an age challenge? If you want to look at it, Fayoje is not an old man, is he? But what is he doing in Ekiti today? Ekiti is on the spot right now. He's the governor. We've had Dino Melai. You can't say he's exactly the old bracket. So really, it's not an age problem. I want to say that. In fact, if you ask me, we don't even have a democracy. I don't care what anybody says. We are just trying to cheat on their ideology. Right now, what I'm praying, we all pray. I don't know what I can say on that. We all pray that let's have a Ghanaian example.
Situation, yes.
Because it took one person to reorganize the whole system. So perhaps we need that reorganization right now. Otherwise, we'll continue to go round and round in a circle. Don't forget that these young ones that we are saying should come out now, most of them are grown by the old breed. We have a Senate president now who was grown by his father. But is he exactly what we want? So it's not an age thing. But then that it's been made official. Oh, great. Every young man can now aspire to be president, governor. Yes. You come from your university, fine. But it does not end there. It doesn't end there. We actually, don't forget too, that truly is the young ones that are moving politics globally today. We have Trudeau in Canada, we have Macron in France, we now have our own George Weah in Liberia, and so on and so forth. See, I am praying that God will give us that visionary mind. What we need is a visionary mind who transforms a visionary leader. It can be an old man, it can be a young man, it can be a middle-aged person. He's a human being. And don't forget, vision is infectious. But we don't have it. If you take your mind back, in fact, I want to believe that the wave of youth being at the helm of affairs today, was powered by, the Obama era. I looked back at how Obama got there. That's a very, very, very inspiring speech he gave at Kerry's, when he was contesting for presidency at the DNC rally. He said something. He said, there's no Latino America, there's no African America, there's no white America, there's only the United States of America. It sounded like a good sound bite, but it came from a profound mind. Obama, before he got there, had been working, even before he became senator in Chicago. As a Harvard lawyer, he rallied people, the community in Chicago to achieve certain things.
So it's not about the age, really?
About the age.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Ikem, do you actually think the space is conducive
That's the word, is it?
for the youth to actually run?
Even though the bill has been signed.
Even it has been
a
signed.
lot of bill has been
Clause.
signed in Nigeria.
Okay.
I don't know. When you say conducive,
Yes.
I don't know what
Because right now,
stumbling
it could
blocks
be...
you think are in that place. But then,
Okay.
I need to point it out. Young people have always been a part of government in Nigeria. This bill, for me, didn't address anything. I've told some people earlier today. By the 1960s, M.T. Mbo was, I think, 29 or 26.
29.
29. No, he was 26.
Was he?
When he became a minister in this country, or a parliamentarian. Patu Tommy was 29 when he became Minister of State in this country. I will keep giving you examples. President Shehu Shagari became president in 1979 at 41.
Yeah.
Jim Nwobodo became the governor of Enugu State, Anambra State then, at 39.
Gowon became head of state at 32.
No, let's even look at that one is a military intervention.
Oh, okay.
But Jim Nwobodo became a governor in 1979 at 39. Solomon La became the governor of Plateau State at 42, I think. Mohammed Goni became the governor of Old Gongola State at 42. If I keep reeling them out, how old was Lateef Jakonde when he was governor of Lagos State then? He was under 50.
True.
So, at present, Dino Melaye claims he has been a parliamentarian since in his early 40s. The governor of Kogi State became a governor at under 40.
Yeah.
Tony Elumelu's brother, the one Ndudi Elumelu that was minister, member House of Committee on Power, he was under 40. Ositachi Oka's brother is a member of the House of Representatives. He was, I think, under 35. It is not about age. That's what I'm saying. This thing didn't address anything new.
Okay.
What anybody should give us and we would think is unique is if it is possible, assuming there is anything about age, I would say, okay, anybody who is 65, don't contest. But then, that is wrong. Because, like he said, it is not about your age. It's about what vision do you have for this country. Lee Kuan Yew became the president of Singapore. At a certain age, he wasn't a youth. But he spearheaded the separation of Singapore from Malaysia, managed that country as a dictator from a democratically elected president until he became a dictator and was there until around, I think, 1984.
Yeah.
When he stepped down. And today, Singapore is the world's most prosperous country, one of the highest GDPs. Their airport has continued ranking as #1 in the world for God knows how many years. This is a country that came to Nigeria to collect palm oil as Malaysia, palm kernel, in the 60s. But the vision of one man
changed everything.
Changed everything. He mentioned the Ghanaian example. That Ghanaian example may be difficult in Nigeria because it didn't happen under a democracy.
Okay.
Singapore didn't happen under our kind of democracy. Yes, he was elected, but he sat there, stamped on those ones who wanted to change because of their own self-interest, and created a program that blighted the divisions between the Chinese and the Malays, between all the ethnic groups that made up the present-day Singapore.
Okay. All right,
Wait
Mr.
a second. Sorry, patience. You're talking about vision. Because now, most of the youth these days, they've actually belittled them to political talks. That's what they get to use them for. And do you actually see that these are the same people that they want to hand over power to?
In fact, if I may just come in there, first of all, the mind of our youth today is drastically away from anything that makes sense in terms of governance. In fact, if you want to perform this experiment, ask your child at home today, what do you want to become? Their heroes, their models are different today. Models are now criminals. Check it out. So, are these the ones who you want to push into politics now? You first of all, let's not deceive ourselves. We need to clean this audience table. We need to clear everything. Let the young guy know that bad behavior will always be punished and good behavior will always be rewarded. Until we do that, we are wasting our time with this bill. I'm sorry.
Okay. Frank from Kafanchan says, I'm asking, what is so special about this bill being signed, whereby the age limit of the youth was mentioned before contesting for any public office, but the age limit before vacating from public office was never mentioned? Just like our president now, how old is he? Or will he be there? Or will he be there, continue in office till death do them apart in the old age? Let them also put their own age limit of vacating from public office. But if they fail to do this, it means they have done nothing good about this bill and for the Nigerian youth. This other one, Austin from Delta State says, please, let's thank the president for that good job because I am 25. I'm going to run for state as, as a governor in Delta State. Congratulations and good luck to you on that. All right, this one is commenting on the Ekiti issue. Excuse me, says, please, the problem at Ekiti is the heat of the two rallies happening same time and same day. Fayoshe's rally and Fayemi's rally. Who gave them permission? All right. This other one, Samuel Ojo from Ikotun. Both Fayoshe and Fayemi should go forever and allow a new leader to emerge in a new party, not APC nor PDP. Thanks. The politicians have disgraced this country a lot. It clearly shows that they are not going to political offices to serve the people, but for their selfish self-enrichment. Thus, they can do anything to get there. Dr. Fred Ahmadu sent that one in. All right, let me read one more before we continue. Chukuma from Ikorodu says, the police has cleared the air on what happened, and if the APC could give a press statement under 45 minutes of incident's occurrence, claiming assassination attempt, is a shame. APC have not come out to apologize to the Ekiti people after 48 hours, but rather giving poor excuses. All right, so, well, whether we like it or not, this not too young to run bill has been signed. But then putting a caveat on it. Why are you putting a caveat on it?
See, we have become too serious in this country. And I've seen it trending on social media, and we should know.
It was a joke.
That it was a joke.
Wow.
A joke.
The only problem was that they probably didn't have time to school the president or in the art of reading that thing, because he rendered it as if it was part of that speech. Whoever inserted it in that speech should have advised him, maybe put it in brackets.
Exactly.
Put it on a lighter note.
You know?
Put it on a lighter note. But he didn't, it wasn't a caveat, it was just a joke. Because I am contesting,
please,
Mona no run on
2023.
He was like soliciting their support for himself.
But it came out wrong.
But the way it came out, but you have to understand the way some of those things run to know that it was meant to, because he had already finished reading it when he himself understood the full import of that thing, and then he stood up straight and smiled. I watched it. So it was supposed to be a joke to lighten the mood, but he didn't read it well.
All right, quickly, Mr. Chris.
But the thing is that I think, like I said, we're just too serious. Because when I heard it, even though he didn't smile there on camera there, I see it was a joke. Check that law.
It was a
There's
joke.
no place where he said, under section one thing.
Until
Babu
Buhari leaves office. Okay.
I think and then some people are even going ahead for that. To say they're going to sue the president.
There's a political party.
I think that is silly.
While we're talking about Nigerians being too serious, we have to understand that the poverty level out there is a very serious matter. So it takes a lot to get an impoverished man to laugh or to get your joke.
While
You know what I'm
I'm
talking
too
about?
serious too, a lot of things we take seriously, we turn it to a joke.
Well,
Things when people throw jokes at us, we take it serious. So it is some kind of
and the
I
guy,
guess it depends on the mood and it depends on the person that is actually dishing out
I
the
think
joke.
there's another side to the president that
Quickly,
a lot of
sir.
people, a lot of people have refused
to acknowledge.
The guy is a funny guy.
He is.
People who are close to him
He
say he's
laughs
funny.
actually, yes. He
And
has a sense of
he's
humor.
funny.
But
Okay.
you know, in terms of in present day of hunger, there are some certain people that
That
when
would
they
not-
put the
there's
joke
nothing-
to you, it's not
Nothing
funny.
to smile about.
No,
All right, let's move it along. We have 10 more minutes of the show. Our last topic today is the Senate President and robbery allegations. The police have invited the Senate President Bukola Saraki over the Offa bank robberies, which occurred on the 5th of April this year, during which some policemen were killed and millions of naira stolen, and also about 30 or more other people died. He was asked to report to the Force Intelligence Response Team office at Guzape in Abuja to answer to the allegations reportedly leveled against him by 5 alleged gang leaders involved in the said robberies. And the robberies, of course, we know occurred at First Bank, Guarantee Trust Bank, Echo Bank, Zenith, Union Bank, and Ibolo Microfinance Bank, all of them in Ofade in Kwara State. Now, apart from the gang leaders, other principal suspects too have implicated the Senate president. Meanwhile, while responding, wow, this is a lot. Saraki, in a statement issued by Special Advisor, Media and Publicity, Yusuf Olaniyonu, dismissed the allegation, describing it as baseless. He said he had no link with any band of criminals. All right, we have the footage of the police, making their statement there. Let's take it quickly and then come back and we'll talk.
Pump action rifle, equally on display on the table. We have one revolver pistol. The revolver pistol is in police custody in Ilorin, Kwara State, because that is where the commencement of the investigation commenced. Then we also have a Lexus RS300 Jeep. The Lexus you are seeing here, please, can we leave the back of the Lexus, please? We should leave the back of the Lexus. I'm going to give you the account of the involvement of the Lexus Jeep in the robbery incident. We also, this Lexus Jeep, as at the time they carried out the operation, it was bearing different registration number, and as at the time it was intercepted, it was bearing another registration number. So the full account of what I'm going to tell you will give you the details about this. Then we equally have Mercedes-Benz compressor with registration number Lagos LT490KGA. The Lexus RS300 I mentioned was used as part of the vehicle that were used for the robbery, and equally the Mercedes-Benz car. The Lexus Jeep was used for the robbery, and the Lexus Jeep belonged to the gang leader Ayuade Akiniboso. Ayuade Akiniboso, can you stand up, please? Okay. He's the owner of the Lexus Jeep here, and equally the gang leader, and equally the owner of the Mercedes-Benz compressor.
Okay, I'm sorry, we can't take the full clip. You can watch it on YouTube. It's about 8 minutes long, more allegations. Meanwhile, one of the gang leaders said to journalists that he worked as a political thug for Saraki in Kwara South, Kwara North, and Kwara Central Senatorial District while he was in the PDP. He explained that him and his gang assisted the Senate president to disrupt elections at polling centers that he knew his party could not win, adding that he has been working for Saraki since he was the Kwara State governor. Meanwhile, the Senate president has said this whole thing is a plot concocted to embarrass him because of his insistence that the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Ibrahim Idris, should appear before the Senate to explain reasons for the rampant killings and violence across the country. Gentlemen, here we are. It's like a crossroads, Crossroads. What are we looking at here? Are we looking at a case of witch hunting or a case of, robbery?
My brother did say something just now that, and I from just taking the lead from you, he didn't believe in, or he doesn't believe in conspiracy theories. When you just mentioned that crossroad, I'm now going to coin something now. When at crossroad, open conspiracy theory. That's where we are now. First of all, let's look at that robbery. That robbery was the most brazen, the boldest robbery attack this country has ever witnessed. Don't forget there's a governor.
And also one of the bloodiest. Let's not forget that.
There's a governor, which, as we said, is chief security officer of the state. There's a level robbery or crime will get to. It will require the intervention of the military. I don't know, maybe I can be corrected. But that day, we were almost getting there. Robbers operated so freely for hours, almost up to an hour. It was trending on social media. It completely eluded or evaded the State House. That's one. Now, the governor is an ally of the Senate president. Conspiracy theory. I'm not alleging anything. Now, from all the evidence that police PPRO was just talking about, they are traceable. Okay, let's go to the, let's be the devil's advocate here. We know that, according to people alleged that police can get criminals from prison to come and implicate anybody.
Of course.
But then, there are those, what we're seeing here, or what we have seen, kind of beats that hypothesis.
Okay.
So for me, I think this is a serious matter.
Those word-fed people we just suspects we just saw didn't look like people that just came out.
No. And do you know one thing?
Well-fed,
Because I was actually following this story, and I sent it to patients yesterday. We're actually brainstorming together. But the main thing is, when asked about the car, he said it was a gift.
A gift.
From the Senate president. Because they are political talks that they get to use.
Yesterday, when it started and our people were now going back and forth.
Sorry to interject here, Mr. Ikem. Now, these gang members, actually, they have like a group. It's called the Youth Liberation Movement, aka Good Boys. Yeah. So, the politicians know where to find them. Yes.
Good boys of power.
So, when people were saying now we're embarrassing the office of the Senate president, this is conspiracy because of IGP transmission, I just took to Facebook and said, wherever there is a witch hunt going on, I look around for the witch they are hunting. First of all, if you read the police press statement on this, from Saraki to the governor, they need to be a lot more careful. That vehicle bearing Saraki was used, according to the police, for the robbery. When they started tracing them after they've arrested them, they took it, allegedly, this is reading the police statement, to Government House in Lorry and hid the vehicle there, changed the plate number. The person who changed the plate number is a PA to the governor. When he was leaving, information leaked and he was arrested along with the old plate number that he had changed. He had a gun, a revolver, and another one. He gave the gun to his brother who went to a farm to bury those guns. It was the chief of staff to the governor, according to the police statement, that supervised the change of that number plates. What took that vehicle to Government House? In the first place? Is it the police that were doing the conspiracy theories that took the vehicle to Government House? I am not passing judgment here. I'm just creating the scenarios so that we see the police side. Yes. Because the police, IG, and the Senate president, and perhaps the Nigerian Senate has issues, doesn't mean that when an issue we should approach with a pinch of salt comes, that we shouldn't do that.
Okay.
There are issues around this that requires all of us to be careful, to think a lot more properly.
Beyond the surface.
Beyond the surface, beyond political affiliations, beyond some of our prejudices, to make sure that, one, those who are answerable answer for what they did.
Yeah.
Based on
And
the facts.
then
Based on
we
the
would
facts.
have
Based
laid
on
a
the facts of
foundation, assuming the police is correct. We would have laid a foundation for people in high offices who commit such crimes
Trying to know what is coming.
to know that every dog has his own sympathy.
All right, this is the part of the show that I don't like. You know, when it's getting all heated up, but our time. Mr. Chris Otaigbe, in 5 seconds, conclude. 5 seconds.
Well, I think we are in for another drama.
Okay.
This is season what now? Season 10?
Maybe we've had the Dino.
Mr. Ike, in 5 seconds.
This is no drama. This is reality check. We need to look at
reality
it
show.
with the reality check.
Yeah.
We need to approach it with all the seriousness
That
and
it deserves.
it deserves.
Okay, people, our time is up for today. But, you know, I grew up reading a lot of crime novels from John Grisham to James Hadley Chase. And one thing I noticed is
You graduated
organized...
downwards.
Organized,
We graduated from handing
organized
checks to
crime.
the-
Organized crime is not for the poor. That's one thing I realized. So just make your
Correct.
deductions from there.
Correct.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chris Otaigben. Thank you,
very
Mr.
much.
Thank you,
Ike.
Mr. Ike.
Thank you, Alero.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Patience.
watching. Tomorrow at noon, join us again for another edition of The Buzz. Enjoy your day.